everyone, this is Irshad, and in this video, we will be covering Module 4 project on EDA data visualization, which we have done on Airbnb market analysis. So let's get into it. So here we are, Airbnb market analysis. First of all, let me tell you what is Airbnb. Airbnb is like just like an Oyo platform, like Oyo platform in context to India. Airbnb is a platform which gives, for example, if you want to book something for a stay or night, yeah, you want the place. So where the host and the people searching for a stay meets. So it's a platform. So Airbnb market analysis. In this, we'll be comparing Chicago and New Orleans. So the business context is the short-term rental market is highly sensitive to location, pricing strategy, host behavior, and availability management. Platforms like Airbnb generate large volumes of listing data. However, actions in sites are often obscured by surface level averages and statistic reporting. Static, static. So cities, Chicago and New Orleans, these have similar tourism appeal, but it can exhibit, fundamentally different markets, right? Different market with competitive dynamics. So comparative analysis is therefore essential for host, investors, analysts to make a decision making, right? So first of all, what is our problem? What are we gonna do? So despite the availability of Airbnb data, so this is public data which I have taken from the Airbnb website. So the stakeholders face difficulty answering key business questions. Okay, fair enough. How does this listing supply and market saturation differ across the cities and neighborhoods? How the listing is different, the saturation, which neighborhoods are different, and higher price listings associated. Does higher pricing give us higher occupancy or not? Where is the most competitive host concentrated? Where is the most concentrated neighborhoods? How do these urban markets differ from each other structurally? So the challenge lies in the not in data access, but transforming this to real analysis. So what is our objective? The objective of our dashboard is to transform to enable us to an interactive comparative analysis between for this Airbnb listing the level market dynamics in Chicago and New Orleans. So what are we gonna do? So first of all, market overview. In this, we'll see market size, the active listings, occupancy rates across cities. Then we'll analyze pricing behavior, then host concentration and some competition intensity, then neighborhood patterns, the density and pricing. So first of all, let's understand our data set, right? What the data set name and description. So data set, this is a publicly available data set. I will give the link of this data set in the description. Data set description. Okay. So this is the raw listing level Airbnb for Airbnb data for Chicago. So each row represents a listing on the Airbnb platform, which includes pricing, availability, location, reviews, and host characteristics. So we can categorize into few variables such as listing information which is related to the listing ID, room type, property type, neighborhood details. Then pricing, the nightly pricing recorded for each listing. Then availability, number of days in a year it's available, indicating its activity levels. Then review and engagement metrics, the total number of reviews per month, overall number of revenues. We can use it for demand and host related, host ID, host name, number of listings, and each host has. Then geographical longitude and latitude. So the process, so the first of all, we have to prepare this raw data, prepare the raw data to able to extract valuable insights from the data, by standardizing missing through the missing values, removing invalid ones and all. So I have done Python. I have used Python for data cleaning and data preparation. So let's dive into Python. So here is our Python. So this is the data set, Chicago listings, and I will run it for I will run it for confirmation. So this is it. This is already has run. So these are the two, this one Chicago and New Orleans. So first of all, what I have done is I've created a profile, right? Profile function which has a profile. the name of the city, their shape, data types, and null values percentages. Basic profile, and we are calling the cities. So Chicago contains 7,444 rows and 18 columns. So it has ID, name, host ID, host related data. Then this is geographical, room, price, and last reviews. This is the data types that we have over here. And this is the missing values 100%. So we can drop the data, pricing, null values, live waste null values. Then New Orleans has more number of rows, listings, 8,600 and 18 rows. Same, have the same data, the missing values. We can drop this off. This is pricing, null values. So let's state the data since we have the basic profiling, the details of the data. First of all, I'm merging this data and concatenating it since we'll have to, instead of going it separately, I've merged it by creating a filter called, by adding a column called city so that I can flag two different cities and merging the into one data from df. So df dot drop, we are dropping it since it's empty 100%. Then this is the IDs, unique values, unique IDs we have. Then finding the null values and the prices, we do not have much. I mean, finding the null values and filling those null values and reviews. Filling the null values, imputing them. Then the host names which are not given, we are taking them as null. Then finally typecasting them, typecasting the price to as float into their appropriate data types. Then finally, we have the data set that we have over here, and these are the no not much null values. So let's get into the uh, our dashboard. So for yeah, this is our dashboard. An overview. I will give the overview what it is. Then we can directly jump into the dashboard. So yeah, this is dashboard looks like. It has similar theme to the Airbnb metrics, and here are the listings, activities, and median prices and occupancy rates. These are the filters like price range, luxury, standard rooms. These are the city filters. These are the host filters. So this has KPI city wise comparison. So as we can see, the insights that we can draw is Chicago has larger market comparison. Chicago has larger market, and while New Orleans have higher listing concentration, right? Suggesting a tourism-driven economy. Higher proportion of listings are active in both cities, indicating strong market. Then here is the pricing analysis of distribution and all. So it has price distribution charts, price versus occupancy. Chicago exhibits greater price disrupt dispersion, reflecting a heterogeneous mix of listings. New Orleans price is more clustered around mid-range and indicating standardized pricing behavior. Higher price for listing do not consistently have higher pricing, so occupancy rate. So this is the host related data, and these are the host distribution, host listing per accounts. The relatively smaller number of host controller disproportionate share of the listings, indicating there is a significant corporatization. That's why we have close to 70% hosts here. And yeah, this is the final property analysis, how this property differs, their pricing differs. So listings are highly concentrated in few neighborhoods. Premium prices, right? Prime prices command higher medium prices, but this does not translate to higher occupancy rate. Peripheral neighborhood shows lower competition. So, so let's jump into the dashboard, then we can come back to the business impact summary. So here is data dashboard. This is the market analysis. Let's see the overview. We have close to 14,000 combined. Combined this, we have 14,000 listings. 93% are active of them. That's very high. 1443 is the median price, and 33% is an average of very below average occupancy rates. So as you can see here, I have taken the median price, not the average price. You can get the answer to it from here. The average price is $600. That's very high. So the data has quite a significant outliers. So therefore, I have taken median price over here. So $600 is the average compared to $153 median. Yeah, similarly, case 132 488. Most of the market is entire rooms or apartments, and private is 15%, quite significantly less. And here are the occupancy rates. For budget, it is similar in both cities. In standard also almost close to 7. Luxury is also very same. So let's dive into the cities. How cities are different. So this is the data for city. So Chicago has 7,800 listings, out of which 94% are active. And this is the median $150 and occupancy is 38. So you can see the same $150, 60, $600. Here 80%, close to 20% of private rooms. Here the occupancy of standardized between 35% from standard to budget, and is going down for luxury. The insight that we can draw is higher prices there are in Chicago are not accompanied by proportional occupancy rates, right? Higher, highlighting similar demand and efficiency across the markets. So if we see this, this has less listing, but there are more active listings, and here there are median price is $132, and similarly 32% in that in the previous case it was close to 33. So there's not significant difference. But here there are higher average $488, whereas the median is 132. So this has and New Orleans has more number of entire properties and less of this private room. And as you can see here also, there is a flow from budget to standard to low. So it's something like that over here. So let's go to the next property and location. Now let's select Chicago. So here we have Chicago. This is Chicago, and this is the, as you can see, most of it are concentrated very nearly. So here are the top neighborhoods of Chicago by listings. North, near north side. This has the most concentrated around 946 listings in this single alone. There are quite a mix of them. So it has room type composition. It has mostly same entire home apartments followed by hotel rooms, private rooms, and all. And it has the highest median price as well, $239. That's huge. Let's see individual house. How does the Chicago market? How much individual house holds? Individual near north side they hold. Okay. So they do not have much in the median price. They are not able to charge. What about professional ones? Wow. They are able to charge the highest to $40. They control most of the market here. Interesting. So that's about the Neo Chicago market that we have. Let's see New Orleans. New Orleans, yeah. This is New Orleans. As you can see, most of the bookings, I mean, most of the are concentrated in a few blocks. For example, here, Central Business District, around 1,000, crazy. Around 1,000 listings are concentrated in just this tiny area. And it has highest number room composition of mostly entire apartments, then followed by private rooms. And then it has the highest second highest median price. Let's see who has the highest, which neighborhood has the highest median price. Marigny. Okay, this is a bit sparsely populated with 382, and it has 299 entire apartments and private rooms. As you can see, many of them have more private rooms in here overall room composition. Interesting. So let's see. Okay. Let's check luxury ones. Where is the luxury market located? Not Marigany, but overall, let's see where the market is. Luxury market. Okay, luxury market. Luxury market. Wow. The costliest of them all is $40,000 French Quarter. Interesting. And it is in Central District, CBD area. CBD area, yeah. That was expected though. What about Chicago? The most expensive area. $600. Wow, this is there are less outliers in this data. Wow. So that was it. So what insights we can draw is the many of those uh, neighborhoods are densely populated, especially this one near north side and in case of New Orleans, the CBD area. Yeah, there are very highly populated in the few keyboard areas and this command higher median prices. So let's see next pricing analysis. So in terms of pricing, so this is the overall market, and as you can see, most of it lie between zero to like $250, most of the market. And here is the relationship between the occupancy rate and the prices. As you can see, there are many of outliers over here, and most of the occupancy and the prices lie in this region only between less than $2,000. And there is very less relationship. I mean, there is a significant relationship though between price and occupancy rate. And here is the occupancy rates between individual hosts and as you can see, I mean, between both the cities, individual hosts command better occupancy rates. And average review ratings of, as per the price segment is higher for budget, standard, and luxury. Let's see Chicago. Chicago, wow. It's mostly concentrated over a zero to like $300. Most of the is here, few outliers here, and most of the occupancies who command are here only. And there is few outliers here. They command less. I mean, as you can see, there is a negative relationship. As it is growing, there is a negative relationship, and as you can see, most of the individual hosts are commanding better occupancy rates over here, and similarly, budget they have the same more better in terms of reviews. As for New Orleans, let's see New Orleans. New Orleans here saying around $200. This has less price range variations and same higher relationship for lower price markets over here. There are few outliers as well. So it's going both. I mean, few outliers have higher occupancy rate and few of them have lower. So it's mixed signal. And similar is the case with the occupancy rate and the budget range. The individual hosts are significantly better in terms of occupancy rates, as you can see. And similarly, the average rating for budget ranges, budgetary or highest ratings than standard and luxury. So let's go to next host analysis. Host analysis. Let's see over in the overall market, 70% is controlled by the host. I mean professional and just 30% individual ones. As you can see, there is a negative relationship. What it actually means, the higher you scale, there has been a negative or less occupancy rates. And most of this, I mean, individual hosts contribute only mostly one, they hold only one host listings, whereas this professional hosts hold more than one. So let's see. Chicago. Chicago. This is Chicago, and most of this 70% is controlled by professional hosts. Professional hosts are the ones which hold more than one listing. So this is, and here is 30% is held by individual ones, and there is slightly negative correlationship. I mean correlation. There is slightly negative correlation. As you can see, the higher you scale and less you get. Most of them are professional host and individual host one. And here you can see individual host mostly have just one listing and most is done by the professional ones. As you can see, the highest listing is five unknown. Okay, we not have data for that. And the one with the highest median price is Cloud9, and with the one with the highest occupancy is Tina, individual host. Okay, let's see for New Orleans. New Orleans, similar trend over here. As you can see, similar trend. The higher you scale, the less occupancy that you are getting, and most of them are individual host, 32% individual host and 67% professional. And here same similar trend. One most of the individual hosts have one, professional host have more, way more. William has around $109 highest occupancy rate. The one with the highest median price is Room Peaks, and the highest which one holds the market is Hostiva, California. So what we can conclude is the this Airbnb have been heavily corporatized by few individual hosts which control most of the 70% of the market, and individuals hold close to 30% of the market. But and as you scale more, there is a negative correlationship between the price and I mean the host listing and occupancy rate, which means there is decline of quality. And most of the host individuals own one, whereas corporates own more. So what we can conclude is this combined has 15,000 listings, 93% of are active. Average occupancy is 33. Budget miss size achieve higher occupancy rate than luxury. Professional hosts control 60 to 70% of the market, but higher portfolio size is associated with lower occupancy rate. Listings supply is highly concentrated in few neighborhoods, and where higher prices do not consistently translate into higher uh, occupancy. So this dashboard helps stakeholders identify this oversaturated markets, how to optimize their pricing strategies and target efficient segments or locations, rather than the intuition, which where we can optimize or whatever competitions where there is higher competition, and where there is less competition, where we can charge less. Based on this data, we can identify and improve the business based on this impact summary. Well, that was all. Sayyid Irshad signing off.